Earlier this year, I went down the rabbit hole and dug up some interesting information that pointed to the developer I believed could be working on the next Silent Hill game. And according to some recent developments, I might have been right on the money. This is Miles with Windows Central Gaming, and today we'll be discussing Bloober Team partnering with Konami to potentially develop a new Silent Hill, and whether or not it'll be exclusive. In some rather massive news this morning, Bloober Team and Konami have officially announced that they have signed a strategic cooperation agreement that'll see the two companies working together on new games. In a statement released by Bloober Team, the developer revealed that they'll be jointly developing selected contents and exchanging know-how with Konami. The Japanese publisher then said it was excited to work with Bloober Team and other highly regarded development partners on existing and new IPs. While Silent Hill wasn't specifically mentioned as one of these projects, there have been some compelling details that strongly suggest Bloober Team is working on some iteration of Silent Hill with Konami. As a huge horror fan and supporter of previous Bloober Team titles, I'm incredibly excited by the possibilities here. Now, let's bust out those tinfoil hats and rewind to earlier this year when the Bloober Team and Silent Hill theories first started gaining traction. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, the CEO of Bloober Team stated that the developer was working on an existing horror IP from a very famous gaming publisher. He then went on to say that he believed it would cause quite a stir once it was revealed. And if my Twitter feed today is any indication, even just the idea of Bloober Team working on Silent Hill has caused quite the commotion. This statement from the developer's CEO wasn't the only thing pointing to a Bloober-developed Silent Hill either. At the beginning of February, I compiled a list of all the coincidences that pointed to this modern horror developer taking the reins on a new Silent Hill title. First up, we had famed Silent Hill composer Akira Yamaoka say the next project he's working on is one fans are hoping to hear about. This comes shortly after Yamaoka wrapped up work with Bloober on The Medium. While maybe not something I'd normally consider evidence, during an interview I had with the game's producer, he claimed that Yamaoka said he would work on any of Bloober Team's future projects. Bloober Team also mentioned they are working on a project that is much bigger than The Medium, and this sentiment was shared almost immediately after The Medium released. Additionally, we know Bloober Team is in the process of expanding their team and recently hired a combat animator. As this studio typically avoids traditional combat in their horror experiences, but Silent Hill would likely require it, this potentially shows even more signs of a Bloober-developed Silent Hill project. All of these coincidences, in combination with today's official partnership announcement, make a really strong case for Bloober Team at least working on one of the rumored Silent Hill projects. But who's making the other projects? And will any of these be platform exclusives? Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the topic of exclusivity, I need to ensure that everyone still has those tinfoil hats firmly fastened to their heads, because some of this is 100% wild speculation. With that being said, let's look at some very interesting details from the official Silent Hill Twitter account. As it stands, Silent Hill Official is currently only following 25 accounts on Twitter. And while followers don't often correlate to any concrete evidence, there's an interesting trend with this small pool of information. Of the 25 accounts followed by Silent Hill, 4 of them are key figures from Xbox. The account also follows the official PlayStation Twitter, but I find it quite fascinating that this account is following Phil Spencer, Major Nelson, and Aaron Greenberg. Does this mean anything at all? Maybe not. Is it merely just a coincidence? Also, maybe not. While the rumors of a PlayStation exclusive Silent Hill have dominated forums for years now, it would be a rather controversial development to see Xbox land Silent Hill as an exclusive. And it wouldn't be too outlandish either, considering the marketing partnership Xbox has had with Bloober Team on their last several projects. Video Games Chronicle has reported that Konami has also partnered with a prominent Japanese developer as well, potentially lending some credence to the conversations regarding a Silent Hill exclusive for PlayStation. I imagine with Konami involved, these projects will likely be multi-platform, but in the ever-increasing battle for exclusive content, maybe we see Xbox and PlayStation swing big money around in order to lock down a highly anticipated entry of this beloved, dormant franchise. What are your thoughts on Bloober Team potentially making a new Silent Hill? Do you think they're the right team for the job? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. For more Xbox and PC content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.